Repeat. We are going live. Oh my god. So long time we haven't chatted. Oh, I haven't chatted in English. So hello and welcome you everybody. And whereas where was I gone? I was just doing many programming, and I didn't have much experience on till now. So if you are online right now, you can ask questions and I can reply to them. I have like a 2-hour journey, so I have my free time right now. And it's a very beautiful weather outside right now. So for a moment, I'll try to keep it. Yeah, you will not see it, but it's really beautiful weather outside. And just a couple of days earlier, I was in a different city in Latvia. I was doing the seminars, and there were some people, and like a couple of years ago, when I was starting to do channeling, I had this feeling about numbers. How do numbers translate? That numbers themselves, they have energy. Numbers themselves have a meaning. And letters also had a meaning, but numbers themselves had a meaning. But I will answer to your question a little bit later. So when I was thinking about this, I started to look at car numbers, phone numbers, numbers like how much time it is right now to answer my question, to answer whatever question I have. Like for example, the car number in front is 25. So 25 means actually joy. It's like a joyful number, and it's actually a peaceful number. But 9 is like intellect, and 9 also means like intellect, which also translates to money. Like the 9 is like a golden energy. So so then I was like, thinking to myself, it's like, oh, this is just interesting, and just asking questions. And sometimes when I don't know what to do, I look at the watch, and the number tries to tell me something. And there was a funny thing that happened a few days ago. One of my friends just writes to me, and he says, hey, what can you tell about the number 2222? It's like 1022, it's like 22 time. I said, well, to me it interprets like you have received an offer, and it's something related to money, and the number is just telling you that go for it. The number is just encouraging you to do it. And he said, well, yeah, I had a job offer abroad in a different country, and he was like thinking. So the 2 means actually doubts. So he was thinking whether to do and whether not to do, but the number interprets like that also he is having doubts. He is not aware of decision, or he's not certain about his decision. So anyway, it's actually really funny. It's actually really interesting. And I was like thinking, how is this possible? How can some kind of a random number can give you some kind of information? Well, sometimes numbers don't tell anything. 25, 23, like joy and thinking. They don't translate anything. It's just like whether it's too complicated to translate or whether I'm not in the mood to translate it. So it's complicated. But since I've been working on the automated trading platform for the past 3 years, I have also channeled several information about probability. And if somebody of you is willing to look for an opportunity to invest in something, you can just contact me. Invest somewhere, you just contact me. So the thing is that when I started to receiving this information about probability, that how is this universe made in terms of balance, in terms of harmony around, that the balance and harmony is not something that we need to care for. The balance and harmony is something that is already, oh, I don't see the lights, it's already built in the universe. So basically the harmony and balance, and you also would say duality, is built inside the universe, the matrix itself, the code itself, the thing itself. So when sometimes I talk about probability, you know, many people think about the mathematical formulas, etc. Well, it's a little bit before that, because when somebody invents probability theory, he knows a lot more than the theory describes. So somebody who invented the probability theory knew a lot more than the theory can, you know, describe to you. Beautiful weather outside. So, in other words, there is a lot more to it than just the empty formulas itself. So, and the funniest thing how you can, well, this is a long introduction into what I wanted to say, and the funniest thing is that I'm just amazed how beautiful it looks through the sun. You know, you don't see it on the camera, but it's just pure white. Where I can just take my phone in the hand. Wait, sorry. For example, how it plays out. It plays out like, imagine you have a coin in your hand and you start flipping it. And the thing is that if you flip it many times and count how many times and how many each side you have got on the flipping part, you will have at the end nearly or really close to 50-50. Like, let's say 500 times dimes and 500 times the heads, or how is it called? And then you start thinking, how did the universe did this? How did it did this? It's not that you throw, then you had like 700 to 300 ratio or something. And then you start thinking there's a lot more to it. How did the universe do it? How did it do it? Now, this is the biggest question. But it all ends up into simple, the creation of the universe, that it's made to be in a balance between both sides. And this, it plays out into many funny things, like there's equal number. Definitely this tells that. And my brother was looking at the statistics he found somewhere online, and he said, yeah, there is nearly 50% male and 50% female on this planet. Something like global statistics. So it can be different from region to region, but overall it's 50-50. So it plays out in many things. Now, but the funniest thing, where does the number come in? Where do the numbers come in? The numbers come in actually in the beginning of your birth. Imagine yourself born before some kind of a really bad situations, maybe political situations, like crisis, like wars or something. Now, if you're born just before the war, you will live out the absolute intensity of it, the worst intensity that there can be. You can live out it. And then maybe after some 20 years, when you start living your life, you are built up with this bad experience, with this loss, or maybe it's also a positive experience with that you care for others more, etc., etc. You have this background experience. You have this strong background experience that plays out a role in your life afterwards. But if you are born just before the time where there's like economical expansion, like there is, all the best things that can happen, let's say globally, then you have the potential to live out all the things that you want in your life, like the wildest things that you can, positive things that you can have. So, and the thing is that each of these dates, each of these positions have a date, each of these times have a date. So the date itself represents the energy that exists in this time, or the time itself represents the energy that can be there. And also, I will tell a little bit one thing about the information how the universe is built through the probability theory, is that all the universe, to actually draw and recreate this universe, you need to have only a couple of things. First thing is the time, which basically is just a number, a huge number that tells the matrix that you need to multiply yourself so many times until this date. And the second thing is the matrix itself, which basically tells whether this is an Earth, planet, gas planet, sun, or whatever. So the matrix itself, which is basically just a DNA code, which is multiplied by itself several times. Each second multiplies itself and creates another expansion. And your coordinates, your location, where do you want to be? So it can recreate the universe itself in any given time, in any given place, in any place, just by having these three numbers. And you can create like a computer game or etc. with just these three variables. Let's say these three variables. And then the funniest thing is that you don't need to have any. I talked about this in other videos, but the importance is really in the numbers. It's just mathematical numbers. So how I see mathematics we have this, like, let's say, a physical world. We have like a physical world where, you know, I look at molecules and atoms, if they exist. They interact with each other, like how they interact with each other. And that can be represented into numbers and formulas that can calculate how they interact with each other through the probability that most likely it will interact in this way, most likely to not interact in that way. So, and also probability theory says also that if something has interacted in a certain way for a period of times, then most likely it will start interacting the opposite way for a certain period of times again. So, for example, it means that if you had like good luck lots of times, then it's just a question of time when you have bad luck several times. Like your luck streak will change into bad luck streak and opposite. So basically it means that you don't have to worry about if something fails in your life or something succeeds in your life. You can be joyful about the things that succeed in your life, but you don't need to worry, because there will be times that everything will change to the opposite. And it's like waves in river. They go up, they go down, they go up, they go down. So it overall represents the balance of the universe itself. No wave goes through the sky, and no wave goes so deep in the ground. But anyway, this is just the introduction. So I see that numbers have actually a really huge meaning. They have a really huge meaning. It different is how can numbers interact into human life? How can numbers interact in your life? Now this is the biggest question. But how I was talking with people, many people, or I was talking with one lady, she said that, well, it's just your energy that attracts these numbers to you. So imagine yourself, each number has an energy, or each person in your life has an energy, and whatever energy you are, that numbers or that persons you attract who have the same energy as yours. So basically the numbers itself translate and interpret the energy basically that you have, So, and I will talk about a couple of number meanings. So let's go from 0 to 9. 0 is peace. and 0 is white color. 0 is actually peace, relaxation, a completely blissful and happy feeling. So it's not a happy or joyful feeling, it's like a blissful feeling. It's like you just smile that everything is so nice, everything is so beautiful, everything is so present, everything, it's the color of the white world, the white world of absolute presence, so basically where angels live. 1 is individuality. It means everything is okay, everything is okay, everything is fine, everything is okay. It doesn't have a color, or I've never seen a color to it, but it just means everything is okay. If you see like 11, 11, 11, it means everything is okay. If you see 0, 0, 0, it basically means a new beginning, like a blissful wish to you, or thankful to you. If you see like 1, 0, it means return yourself to peace. It means you will return to your peaceful state. And 0 and 1 return back from the peaceful state. So 10, 0, 0, 1 is like live in a peaceful state for a little bit. But the 1 interprets as personality. So 2 is expanded energy field, I understand it. And 2 is also a spiritual number, but 2 has 2 sides. 1 is an expanded energy field, and the second side is doubts, anxiety, and energy blockage in a self that it lowers down a positive energy. It lowers down, it blocks the positive energy. So it means if somebody has a pure 5, shiny 5 energy, and there are 2s beside them, it means that his positiveness is lowered down with some kind of a doubtful feeling and doubtful thoughts about something. That's such a bright white. Change it there. So we have two. We have 2 people online and 2 liked it now. So encouraging and misunderstanding what he's talking about. But interesting. So basically, people are thinking. So that's why we have 3 people online now. So people are starting to think about. Those who are watching, they started thinking about this. Well, okay. They start using their mind, and this is the 3 number. 3 is and the 2 was energy of gray, like cloud-like gray energy. 3 is and foggy. The 2 is foggy energy, and that's the lowered energy or blocked energy. So, for example, if you see many 2s, in a phone number, it means that the person is not allowing self to be, is blocking his positive energy to be. So 3 is a sharp-minded pain for himself. 3 basically means that that person loves knowledge, thinking, and like, let's say, education, but not education like school education, but knowledge itself. He loves to think. Maybe he doesn't love to think, but he thinks too much. He wants to put into concepts, okay, this is how it works, this is how it works, this is how it works, this is how it works. And so the number 3 is like he wants to put order into things. Now, and 3 also has both sides. 3 has a positive side where people love knowledge, where people are joyful with knowledge, where people are, where the person is like, he loves and is joyful of understanding something more, learning something more. And 3 has the opposite side, where every knowledge he has just gives more and more pain. Not like pain as a physical pain, but pain like, why did it happen? And this because of this, it's because of that. Maybe it was because of this. I need to find out. And the knowledge becomes as a limitation and as a lowered state where he actually can have like a mind complicity, like he thinks so much that his head starts to hurt. So 3 is a complication number and also a knowledge number. So 3 is actually a positive number if it's on the positive side, if it's on the enlightenment side, if it's on the joyful side. And 3 can become so difficult for so many persons that they want to think, and all the thinking, all the knowledge they have is actually limitations to themselves. So for example, 3, like we have 3 viewers and 3 likes right now online, not if you're not watching the past video. It means like thinking and knowledge. So many people start, when you're watching this video, some people have, and myself, are thinking about how to describe this, thinking about how to understand this. So 3 is also related to computers, because computers are related to thinking. And a person, if a person has 335 or 533 or 339, he thinks about money, and he works in some kind of a governmental or banking, now not like banking, but accounting. He works like where he needs to think constantly to solve complicated decisions. And one person showed me his number lately, and I said, well, this is a very nice number. To me, it seems like many people call you, many people call this number, and then you have like a complicated thinking, or maybe it's not your number, I don't know, but you have a complicated thinking, like a solving, like understanding, like sometimes even anger. But then it turns out that in the chill you can solve this number, or you can solve it. And he said, oh yeah, that's my phone number, and many people call for like a support, or like to help in situations. So 4 is anger, 4 is strength, 4 is I want to do, I want to become something, I want to achieve something. And also 4 is a positive number that gives you energy, and the color is red. So 3 had a color of something really close to sun, but the color is like more like a grain, like yellow grain, like with the grain from which you make bread. I know grain fields, yellow, like yellow gray, something like this. So it's actually the grain color itself, yellowish, sandish, something like this. And 4 color is red, and 4 is actually a number of strength. Is actually, you can tell, you have what you want to tell, you have what you want to do, you command other people, you put the commandments to others, you are angry if something not happens how you wish, and etc. You become, people with 4s become they can become aggressive, they can become that they will just tell you what they want to tell you, but it's not always. It has to be looked with the numbers around it to tell it more precisely. But a clean 4 is anger, strength, stability, and existence of myself, like ego existence. I will get to 7, and there is one lady asking about the phone number. We'll get to a 7. So 4, yeah, that was 4. So 5 is the most beautiful number, which I like, but it's just that I like it, doesn't mean that everybody else likes. Color is clean, pure, sparkling sunlight, yellow. 5 number means running around, doing around, not paying attention to many things that much, and be constantly happy and constantly joyful, just running around. And the Enrico is a complete number 5. Enrico world is a complete number of 5. So everybody with a 5 is basically, he doesn't actually care for problems. And we have right now 5 viewers online. So it's actually a really positive number. It's actually a really positive number. 3 and 5 and 0 in this chat are the most positive numbers, actually. And the 5 the people with 5 numbers, they I don't want to work. I don't want to be there where it's difficult. I want to be where I want to be. I want to do what I want to do. I want to paint. I want to sing. I want to run. I want to play. I want to do something. I want to have like a joyful relationship. I want to, they are like smiling and all around. They're not stuck to a point. They're not stuck to a position. They're not stuck to a position. It's the most unbalanced, expanded, and joyful number throughout all these numbers that we have. And it's actually in the center of everybody. It's in the center. 0 to 9 is in the middle. And this is one of the most beautifulest number. But 4 doesn't like 5, because 5 is just not paying attention to what I'm telling to him. I said, you cannot do this. You cannot do this. You have to focus. You have to be balanced. And 5 is like, oh my God, I don't want to listen to this nonsense. Okay, you want to do what you want to do. I'll go out. I want to run. I want to sing. I want to do something else. I want to be where the party is at. I want to be where the joy is at. But it doesn't mean party like people. It means like free people. And here it comes to 6 though. So we have now 6 viewers online. What a coincidence. Yeah, so if 3 and 4 is together, it means like, I cannot solve it, I'm getting angry. Okay, so 6 is the most difficult number in the whole number. There are 7 people online. 6 is the most difficult number throughout all the numbers. It represents difficulty. I can turn my camera to myself. 6 represents difficulty. So 6 is a black or dark gray like energy. It represents difficulty. It represents complications. A person with 6 would be a person that cannot solve his life. Again, something bad happened. I don't know what to do. Can somebody help me? I'm stuck. It represents lowered, difficult, bad energy. But it has to be looked together with a number. It has to be looked together with other numbers. Because 6662 was especially for one girl, and she said the interpretation was like, you don't pay attention to difficulties. She said, oh yeah, all the time. So it doesn't mean that you have a 6 number and everything is bad. It has to be looked together. So 667, 766, 466. 466 will be like anger and not liking my life or the situation which I am right now. 5 would be a complete joyfulness about my life. Where am I? A complete joy. 5 is the energy of the sun. 4 was the energy of Mars. 3 I don't know. But 2 was the energy of the moon. And then okay, so you can look it through astrology, and if people see auras or aura colors, you can look through auras and each number meaning, so you can have a much clearer point of view or opinion of the people. For example, if in channeling somebody arrives with a sparkling yellow like energy, I was like, he's a complete 5. He's joyful, he's running around, and if he has 3, 5, 5, 9, he is a well-thinking person. He is also, let's say, a money-satisfied person. He has sufficient amounts of money in his life. It doesn't mean about money like paper, like life, material quality in his life is sufficient. Let's say he can afford and have the things that he wants to have. So this is the translation about money in numbers. It's not like money like bank account money. It's the material satisfaction about his life. And then we get to 7. So 6 is one of the lowered energy, and 6 is one of the loneliest, and 6 is one of the numbers that every other number would wish to help him, would need to help him. But it turns out that actually nobody can help him except 9. But we'll talk about this in another a little bit later. So now it's 7, and right now we have exactly 7 people online. John, 6 turned to 7 right now. 7 is lack of love. It's loneliness, lack of love. It's like I don't feel loved. I don't feel to be loved. I feel lonely. I feel like there's something missing. And it's something similar to 2, and it's something similar to 6, number 6. But it's like represented to loneliness, individuality, or that person wants to be alone. I don't have windshield water. That is, we have a lonely windshield water bottle. So yeah, so it doesn't mean like 3 7s in a row means you're lonely. It doesn't mean like pure 7 itself represents of lacking of love. So for example, and the color is also gray-like, dark gray-like, but it's a difficult color. I cannot describe it. And now we get to the 8. So 7 has 2 sides. 7 has also a side that sufficiency and the self blissful loving situation, or the opposite of I feel lack of love from the other person. I want to feel more from the other person. So 8. So the story what Enrico told, that 7 is in love with the 8, and now we have exactly 8 people online. 7 is in love with number 8, but the 8 doesn't like the 7 energy. He doesn't like that the 7 is like, oh, you don't love me anymore. You always think about yourself. You're like, pay attention more to me, to myself. Can you? And the 8 has this much of that energy. And the 8 is like in love and looking around for other things. 8 is also a really positive number, and it's the planet of Venus, and it represents energy, like its color is pink, and it represents energy of love, sparking loved energy. It represents the energy of falling into love. It represents energy of self-love. It represents the energy of like butterflies in the stomach. And young girls, they have, the room full of ponies and pink colors or white pink colors, and that's the energy of 8, pure energy of 8. But it comes together with other numbers like 7 and 8 together. If they come to, it's like a person who feels self-love, who feels love to himself, really blissful, and he sometimes just want to close his eyes and just feel this love. 2, 7, 8 would be expanded energy of self-loving and looking inside himself. 780 would mean like forgetting all the things that I had in my life, all the things that I had in my life in the energy of loneliness and the energy of etc. So soon I will not see anything through my window. So now the 8 is in love with the number 5, because the 5 is so sufficient, so joyful, so doing something, so around many places, so even traveling, so even the 8 is just amazed. And now we had just a moment ago 9 people online, so what a coincidence. So the 7 is in love with the 8, but the 8 doesn't care about the 7. The 8 likes 5, because the 5 is so positive, so joyful, so active, so doing something, and the 7 is not doing anything, just talking about his, oh, do I feel like this, or do I feel like that, etc. So the So that's the correlation between 5 and 8. So then we turn to number 9. And number 9 is like the energy of the father. It represents intellect, and it's not like 3. And 3 was represented to knowledge and complicated knowledge that can become as a limitation. But number 9 represents as intellect, that person has high intellect. It represents the universal understanding. It represents the... Actually, where I'm going, I don't understand. Wisdom, right? Wisdom. But the color of 9 is golden. So 9 represents intellect, wisdom. 9 is also intellect and golden energy, which also represents of material independency and money, in a sense, again, and energy like father, the energy like energy like a father, like stability, like knowledge, like patience and intellect. It's like, and people with 9s, lots of 9s have also golden, sparkling, yellow like auras. They have shining auras. One time I saw one person who had a really golden aura and was like amazed. And he was one of the richest person in Latvia. So we met, friends and everything. I was like amazed. Oh, he has really, really high intellect. And he's using this intellect in his job, in this whatever he has, and it comes up to great solutions and etc. So, and 6 likes the stability or intellect of the 9, and 6 and 9 come together. But if the number 9 is being introduced to bad situation, to difficulties, the number 9 can easily turn around and become a 6, that he needs to use his intellect to get out of this bad situation. So that's where there was 6 and 9 together many times. 6 and 9 comes together many times to transformation from hard, difficult work to results, like stable results, like beneficial results. To beneficial results. If I say 69 to many people, it means you need to put in work, you need to put in energy, you need to put in. It can become difficult, but it will turn out to be like a beneficial result. It will turn out to be like a valuable result. And now we have 10 people online. So, but after, yeah, that's right. And now we have 11 people online. Means, yeah, exactly. So that's what I wanted to tell. That numbers do not follow after 9. And then it was 11. So it means, yeah, that's right. So it's 10 again. So it means now turn to peaceful state. And peaceful state would be just lower down my peaceful energy, because we will start talking about combinations. And then I need to look at the number. Telling. So what happens if I change my phone number? Funny. I haven't changed my phone number for like 15 years. And I decided, well, if I would want to become richer, or if I want to become, that's what many people want, I would definitely choose a number with 9s. Lots of 9s, lots of 5s. I would definitely use that number, like 9909, like 9919, like 299199919, for example, or 250999999, and numbers like these. And let's see, and then I would want to know what will happen. But that was the funniest moment. One friend showed me his girlfriend's number, and I told him what does it mean, but I don't know whether it's true or not. It's just I translate the things how I understand them, and And then he showed me his girlfriend's previous number. And I said, well, this number means that this number, which before you showed me, means stability and of my life. Like, but the number was interpreted as being more stable in my life, like find his place. But the number before that she had, it was interpreting as like job, wanting to find job, looking for a job, looking for a place, just move in somewhere, like energy, like moving constantly, like moving constantly, and being uncertain about, like a little bit like a panic, what to do, where to be, and how to solve, and where to live, like something like this, where to find my space, where to find my place. And he started to laugh and he said that, yeah, that number was when she moved from the countryside, and this number is right now, so it changed the number. So again, I think numbers represent energy. They don't actually change anything. They just represent the current energy state. And then somebody told if 777 is money number. No, 77 is not money number. 77 is in the jackpots or where you know gambling. 77 means like something is not right, something is not solved, something with myself is not right, something in myself is not solved. 6666 would be a difficult, painful situation that the person has lowered himself so much that he cannot even move. He cannot even move. Like he's getting painful, and it's difficult for him even to get up from the bed. It's like it's not like physical pain. It's like energetical pain, more likely, and also physical pain. So there were some more questions. When something's about manifesting life, I tend to see numbers with 11, 811, 711, 1211. All these numbers to me seem encouraging you. So 11 means exactly. 011 means that you having a loving feeling at that moment, but it's also exactly. Okay, so you're a person that likes to be involved in relationship, like even this, even that. So 711 means that you're feeling lack of this loving feeling, but the 11 is telling you to be patient, like everything is okay, and 1211 means that you're not certain about the decisions that you need to do, and 11 tells you again, be patient, everything is fine, everything is okay, everything is as supposed to be it. So basically, to me, these numbers interpret as you tend to have this emotional uplift, and you tend to, okay, everything will turn out fine, everything will be okay, everything will turn out fine, and you have this emotion that like sometimes kicks you out of the balance, and then you like calm yourself down that everything will be fine, and you feel that everything will be fine, everything will be fine, everything will be fine. What was else? Yeah, and I wanted to tell this number is really close to a woman's energy, and Eddie, it was the name of. Well, anyway, let's get to an act. It represents to like emotional state, something like women's, like girls, emotional state. So energy like 8. I have 877 my number. What is it? Have we talked about sevens? There was one girl which written the number, but I don't see it in the chat anymore. Maybe she removed the number. Okay, so 2, 4, 7, and 8, but 1. Sorry, what? I feel attracted to 2, 4, 7, and 8, but I don't know the meaning of. I don't know the meaning of repulsive, but 247 means a person who has his own opinion, a person who likes to conflict with other knowledges, a person who has his own opinion, and like, for example, you have a person has learned something, and then he wants to compare with others and try, no, this is for me, this is not for me, this right, this not, this is this right, this not, and through a spiritual baggage, and the 7 represents that individual of your own opinions. So actually, it will be really difficult for somebody to make you think otherwise. You are your own, you like burst through, or you like build your own knowledge. And quite the opposite numbers that you will 3, 4, 6, 9 are the opposite numbers that like to encourage you to be more freer, encourage to be more open, encourage you to be more stretchier, encourage to be more flexible, encourage to be more don't care that much, encourage to be more open-minded, not exactly, encourage to be more acceptance about everything, encourage to be more, like this. What about 911 and 119? Disgusting. Okay, disgusting. What about, so, and also the lady who told 247, or I don't know the name, maybe it was a man, 247, it means that he has to be also a little bit serious. That's where all the energies are positive. All the oppositive energies seem to be for him, what are you talking about? You're out of your mind, or a little bit unbalanced, or cuckoo, or something like this. Anyway, 911. These are technical numbers. I don't actually quite understand them. And 119. Let's say 119. 119. It's actually a real number. 119. It would be. There's like something going on, but there's nothing. Something going on, but there's nothing. It's like somebody who has this would be, I'm looking for something, and just empty-minded. And a little bit like, whoa, I don't have any ideas, any minds. 911 would be something from, let's say, it can be from a deep meditation, it can be from a deep intellect, it can be from a blissful feeling, as intellectual blissful feeling has come down back, and it's just like, okay, now I want to have joy, now I have a peace, now I have a just do nothing, I want to be just and do nothing, I want to just be and do nothing. There was a number that some lady was written down. It was like, I believe it was 2000440005, and it's a number to somebody that's looking for peace. She or he loves the meditative, the blissful feelings. She loves it. Spirituality, she loves it. But then she gets anger. And she can like scream and put out her opinions to everybody, completely change everything, be again in a peace, and then have a joyful feeling. So to me it represents an energy of ups and downs. If you have any questions, you can just write about 20044006. So the 6 ending represents of. Wait, I need to look one more again. of sadness sometimes to herself, sadness sometimes to myself, of why did I did this? Why did I did this? Like I had this, and I did something. Then I'm like, why did I did this? After some time of the situation, you lower yourself down. You're like feeling guilty or feeling like this. Why did I did this? So something else. Anger is such a difficult thing to deal with. I'm angry all the time. Well, yeah, that's nice. And we have 4 likes. 7 and 4 interprets as individual self-anger. So that's what you were telling. So that's energy representing through right now. Right. So and then we were driving with friends, and they're like, I was like funny. I was like just enjoying myself. You tell just your phone number. I will try to tell something about you. And they started giving these numbers, and we started, let's say, to laugh and say, well, okay, that's precise. Okay, that's precise. And then I was, okay, now, and they were, the people were telling, okay, how about I give you a number to somebody that you don't know? To a person that I don't know. And then they started giving numbers to the unknown persons. And I just started to describe, and they were like, yeah, that's precise, yeah, that's precise. And I said, well, they gave me a couple of numbers in a row, one lady. I said, well, these 2 numbers to me seem like relatives. Because the number's energy is really similar. She said, yeah, they're brothers. And I was like, but this one is more taller than this previous number, physically taller, the person. And he is more expressive. He can say what he wants to say. He can express it. She said, yeah, that's correct. And the other was saying, how can you tell that from the numbers? I said, I don't know. I completely don't know. But what I've seen in numbers also is that the numbers don't give a solution. For example, some numbers, phone numbers I've seen, people are exposed to bad karma, let's say like this, exposed to difficulties in their life. Let's say it like this. And the numbers just tell how it is. The numbers just tell how it is. And they sometimes tell first part of your life, and then they show the second part of your life. And they sometimes tell to a person that you can overcome. You will overcome this with, let's say, peaceful, meditative, joyful state. And the number of 035, one lady also showed me lately, not far ago. 035 was a number with that the person really likes to study. The person is peaceful. He likes to study. He likes to take in new knowledge, and she is really positive with it. She's really positive. It's like a really positive number. And yeah, she agreed. That's perfectly matching. I was like, well, yeah, that's your phone number. And one time that was funny. I had in my phone book 2 people with identical names, and I was like, man, I don't know. I need to call one of them, but I don't know which one of them was he, which I want to call. And then I said, let's look at the numbers. And the one number was like 299553355. I was like, yeah, this is he. Definitely, this is the person which I want to call. Because the other number was 8866 to 007, like with difficulties and etc. Because that person which I know, he was joyful, funny all the time. And that was the 553399. All these are positive numbers. Yeah, so that was funny. Sometimes I do that. And when I don't have a phone number saved in my phone number, when somebody calls me, if I see 6644, it's like, oh, it will be a difficult speech. I will not pick up the phone number, just put it down. So it's actually really funny, but I don't know whether it's true or not. I don't know whether it's absolutely precise or not, but I do know that it gets interesting to watch these numbers, like 4 is also an opinion number. Like, I have my opinion about this, and it doesn't mean that your opinion is wrong or right. It's just opinion. And the 4 likes to protect his opinion. The 4 likes to express and protect his opinion. And number 4s, many times number 4s are like, it's like this, it's like that, you need to do this, you need to do that, it'll happen because of this, it'll happen because of that, blah, 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 blah. And it's like dog. It's like a, you know. Okay, some questions. There were some questions. What about phone number which starts with 200? 200 represents a person who is positive in his energy field. She's lighted, open-minded, and she loves to just be a little off ground, I would say, like this. Just daydreaming, just smiling, just having nice positive thoughts. But the overall single number doesn't explain everything. It's like sometimes numbers get into our attention really strongly, and those numbers, if somebody tell me they are more preciser. So if you tell us something starts with 200, then okay, to tell precisely, I need to know I think I need to know the rest of the numbers. Maybe it's already precise. Even in my bank account is 666. Yeah, so it's 666 is not a positive number. It's like if you see 66 in your bank account, that I will determine some debt payments, some things that I would need to spend my money to, but I don't wanna. It's like I don't wanna constantly I receive money and constantly I give away it. It's like but it doesn't mean that just like if I would see 666 and see my bank account, then it'll yes I know I don't want to pay for this, but I need to. All right. Where did I learn about these numbers? Wait. So 1505 in the front. Joyful, peaceful, individuality, meditation. I was meditating, and then when the first channeling experience happened, just a couple of days after, there was information blasting through about. I started to understand Indian. I was like, all the head was dizzy, golden energy around the head, and I started to understand Indian language, the Sanskrit language, the old ancient language. Then the meanings of mantras blast through. The letter meanings, like letters also have energy, were coming through, and energy color meanings also were coming through, and number meanings were coming through. And it's like I didn't learn it just happened, so I didn't actually pay attention to numbers, etc. that much at all. But another thing in comparison was that I started to see people auras and beings auras. It's not that I see them all the time, but from time to time. And then one of my friends, he's an astrology, he knows astrology, and I'm talking about planets meanings. I see planets also with color, energy color, and the astrology interpret those planets energy the same as from the channeling that I received. So it's a little bit funny, and then again interesting, but in a sense, how does this work together with some kind of a channeling inspiration, with some kind of a astrology, which actually really less people know about. And to me, prior in my life, astrology, numbers, and numerology was like a waste of time. But then when you study about it, or when you have some ideas about it, it just becomes more interesting. It's just interesting to play with. It doesn't have to be true, but it's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I can think about it. It's like somebody talks with you. It's like funny. It's like just interesting. Oh. Okay, so somebody's telling. Okay, I don't know what Sigrid is telling about that she agrees. Sigrid was telling, Mother was telling 11, 11, 11, 11. It means 11, 11, 11. It means to do something in a hurry. Just pack your things and do something in a hurry. If a girl with 11, 11, 11, 11, 11 would be 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 would be, which I knew. The random thing, like she's like, okay, now I want to go away. Okay, now I want to go away. But it doesn't mean at this point. It has to be looked to a situation. It's a little bit easier to describe these numbers with if the person is standing next to me, or if I know that person just a little bit, or actually just see the person. Maybe I don't know it, but I just see the person, and then the person tells me. I see all the time. One person was telling me. I was in one summer camp. I was talking about these numbers. And one person asked a man, 444. I was like, oh my god. And the voice itself, the 444, described itself to be strong emotions, like a really strong emotions that arise from himself, that are being suppressed, and it causes like unbalanced anger, unbalanced emotions, like just all of a sudden an explosion into emotions. And I was like, oh my god, now this is a difficult person. This is a very difficult person. And yeah, so it's a numerology online courses. Yeah, if I can make a study or explanation, an explanation, I don't know, because the numerology, the science of numerology from astrology, they come together, these numbers, and then they attain some kind of your personality number, then they attain some kind of a different number. I don't know all about this. I just see the number, and like it explains to me. And another situation was also not long ago. We were in just talking with people, and there was one lady. She told me, okay, can you tell about my number? And she called me the number, and I write it down. I was like, oh, okay, this is this, that. And she's like, and she just gave an applause and said, well, the biggest challenges for you is systematical thinking, and the inner peaceful state, the inner meditative state will calm down and put you in a balanced state. This is like, it's like you have two sides. You have two sides of this in yourself. And she was like amazed and like, wow. And just gave the applause and was like, well, I don't know. I don't feel any information coming through channeling. I don't feel any visions, you just look at it and you kind of like duk, and you just want to tell it. So I have not done it for people. I was just keeping it quiet, but then it was like so many times people are like, oh yeah, that's nice, oh yeah, that's great. And I was thinking, well, maybe I just need to speak about it a little bit more. Maybe I need to speak about it a little bit more. I don't know. You're asking me this question. If a person changes his number, will it change his character? You're asking me a question, which I don't know. I don't know. I just tell these numbers. But if you have a difficult situation in your life constantly, periodically, and etc., what bad can happen if you change your number to like 5s and 3s and 9s and 0s and 1s? How bad could it be for you? Like, what's the difficult? There was another lady also. I looked to her and I like, see, well, you definitely have 6 and 7s in your numbers. She said, yeah, he has 2 6 or 3 6 in combination, and also 1 7 or something. I was like, yeah, that's bad. And I was thinking to myself, now, what can you actually tell to a person, to her, for example, so that it can become beneficial for her? And I said, okay, what numbers could help her? As like 3535 appeared, and it interprets me instantly as more friends and more joyful friends. She needs more joyful friends with her, like beneficial, joyful, exciting. So she has a more and more exciting time with herself, just to wash away the difficulties in her life, etc. So yeah, that's an interesting thing to look upon people. That's an interesting thing to read information. That's an interesting thing to receive information from others, or read information about others. 606 saw one situation, the next situation appear, and etc. etc. And okay, so if you have some more questions, I can answer them. If not, that I go. And I'm wondering, where is the city where I need to drive? I didn't look at the map. I have forgotten the road. I think I know. Okay, so thank you.